In this video series, we look at job descriptions and we look at some of those keywords, key terms you guys as recruiters may still not fully understand. Here we have a term IDE, so a JavaScript front-end web developer is the job description, and the key term is IDE. You can also see it here, IDE. Now watch the sentence says, the development process consists of IDE, code versioning, builds, tests, deployment, coding, etc. Now, the development process consists of IDE. Well, this clearly indicates the person writing this job description doesn't really understand what the IDE means. IDE is an integrated development environment. Okay, it's an environment, so it's a tool. It's a tool a developer uses on a daily basis. This is a tool he or she turns on. Actually, they never even turn it off, but should they turn it off, then this would be the first tool they turn on in the morning and the last tool they turn off in the evening. Okay, so this is what the tool looks like usually. You open up the tool on a huge screen. Developers usually have this massive screen, sometimes even two 30-inch screens. On the left, they have, for example, outline of all the folders. They work with multiple projects, different workspaces. So they need to see the files, folders, subfolders. They can expand some of these. It's like Finder on Mac or whatever on Windows. This list of files and folders is just compressed. It's on the left usually. Then you have a main window within the tool where the developer writes a code. So say this is a code, this is a function in a programming language, whatever programming language it could be. It could be JavaScript, Python, Golang, it could be Objective-C, Java, whatever. So this is the main area where the developer writes code, 12 hours a day. And then on the right, on the bottom, there are some additional windows, windows to help him or her increase their productivity. So they could, for example, push the code straight to a remote repository, which is on the cloud, like GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. They can debug the code. They can see some recommendations about how to improve the readability of the code, how to decrease the bugs or whatever, right? So this tool helps them to be more productive. This tool helps them to write code, first faster and also with higher, say, like less buggy code, if I could say so. Okay, so this is what an IDE looks like. It's a tool. It's important to mention it's a tool. So when you say or write a sentence in the job description, the development process consists of IDE, well, this doesn't really make sense. And as soon as a developer reads the sentence, he's like, well, like, what are they talking about? Like, obviously, it could be restated. It could be like, hey, at the company, we use this and that IDE. You should actually mention which IDE do they use. Do they use Visual Studio, or do they use Atom or Sublime? Which integrated development environment do they use? It's for some developers, it's really important. Like Xcode is, for example, an IDE for iOS development. Okay, so if you mention it in the job's description, then I strongly recommend to mention which IDE it is. Otherwise, I would refrain from even writing such a sentence. That doesn't make sense. Development process consists of IDE. That's like that doesn't make sense. It's like if you would write for a copywriter, like our writing process consists of Word. Right? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to developers, and it doesn't make sense to anyone involved in software development. So please use it in a correct way or drop it completely. what you could do right now is at least to get familiar with some of these terms that you don't understand. And that's what we do at RECRUITER. We look at a job description, we identify some of the keywords recruiters struggle with, and we try to extract some information so you guys understand those terms right away. Alright, so I'll wrap it up here. I encourage you to sign up for our YouTube channel so that you can watch more videos like this one in the future, which will help you to become a great recruiter.